All right, so today we are diving into a manuscript that's a really cool blend of science fiction and mythology and a good dose of heartbreak.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah, it's called Zodiac Guardian, Nathan's Promise. And it's about this science teacher, Nathan, who's trying to win back his ex-girlfriend, Justine.
Oh,
But in the process, he kind of stumbles into this destiny as the Zodiac Guardian.
wow. So like a cosmic superhero.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's got to protect the world from this powerful cosmic entity named Ophiuchus.
So we've got romance, heartbreak, science fiction, and even a touch of mythology with this whole Zodiac theme.
Yeah, it's a really unique mix, and it kept me hooked the whole time.
I bet.
Like, can he actually save the world and win back the woman he loves?
Right. The stakes are pretty high.
Yeah, for sure. Now, the story starts out pretty normal. Nathan's just trying to figure out how to get Justine back.
I can relate to that.
Oh, yeah, and the manuscript goes into detail about all these creative attempts he makes to rekindle things with her.
Oh, I've got to hear about these.
So he tries this grand gesture at lunch, which totally backfires.
Uh.
Then he writes her this heartfelt email, but she's just not interested.
No, no.
And then he even tries to recreate their first date.
Oh, that's kind of sweet.
Yeah, but it turns out she's already seeing someone else.
Okay, so plans A, B, and C all fail miserably.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But amidst all this heartbreak, he starts having these weird cosmic vision.
Cosmic visions.
Yeah, like he predicts a meteor shower with no scientific basis whatsoever.
That's strange.
Right. And this leads him to this mysterious woman named Aurora who runs a tarot shop.
Okay, this is where things start to get interesting.
Oh, yeah. This is where the story takes a huge turn.
I bet.
So Aurora's shop suddenly transforms into this super futuristic observatory.
What?
Yeah, it's wild. And she reveals that Nathan is actually the chosen Zodiac Guardian destined to protect the worlds from Ophiuchus.
Whoa, hold on. So this heartbroken science teacher is now a cosmic superhero.
You got it. And she explains that Ophiuchus is trying to exploit this rare cosmic event called the celestial convergence.
Celestial convergence, what is that?
It's like this alignment of cosmic forces that could reshape reality.
Okay, so the fate of the world is literally at stake.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Mastering these zodiac powers is not easy for Nathan.
Yeah, I can imagine trying to control the power of the entire Zodiac would be a little overwhelming.
Totally. And the manuscript describes his training as this series of, hilarious mishaps.
Oh, I love a good mishap.
So like when he tries to tap into Gemini's energy,
The twins.
yeah, his indecisiveness goes into overdrive. He just can't make up his mind about anything.
That's actually really clever. The author is tying his personality traits to the Zodiac powers.
Exactly. It's like he's wrestling with different aspects of himself.
Right, and these powers are amplifying those inner struggles.
Yeah. But then things get really serious when he accesses Libra's power of precognition.
Precognition, so he can see the future.
Yeah, and he sees a vision of Justine danger.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so suddenly this whole cosmic battle becomes very personal for him.
Makes sense. He's not just saving the world anymore. He's trying to save the woman he loves.
Exactly. And to make matters worse, he gets attacked in his own apartment by this scorpion entity.
A scorpion entity? What is going on?
It's like a corrupted version of the Scorpio zodiac sign. And it turns out it's one of Ophiuchus's forces.
Wow, so the stakes just got a whole lot higher.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah.
This is when Nathan realizes just how dangerous this whole situation is.
So how does he even begin to understand this whole Zodiac Guardian thing?
Well, Aurora shows him visions of past guardians using this amazing pool of liquid starlight.
Liquid starlight, that's so cool.
Right, and he sees all these amazing historical figures like Hypatia's Alexandria.
Wow, the brilliant mathematician and astronomer.
Yeah, she was a guardian too, and then there's Isaac Newton.
No way, the father of modern physics.
Yep, apparently he was a Zodiac Guardian as well.
So the author is weaving in real historical figures into this cosmic superhero story.
It's really well done, and it makes you think about these historical figures in a whole new light.
Like they were secretly protecting the world from cosmic threats.
I know, right? And
What?
then comes the biggest reveal of all.
What's that?
Aurora herself is a former Zodiac Guardian.
Really?
Yeah, she was known as Lyra. And get this, she was Ophiuchus's lover.
Well, hold on. So the woman training Nathan to defeat Ophiuchus was once in love with him.
Yeah, it's a pretty big twist, and it adds a whole new layer of complexity to the story.
So there's this history between them, this personal connection that makes everything so much more complicated.
Absolutely. And it makes you wonder what happened between them. What caused Ophiuchus to turn from protector to destroyer?
It definitely raises more questions than answers.
For sure, and we'll have to wait for part 2 to dive into those. Okay, so last time we left off with Nathan facing a pretty intense situation. I mean, he's got this cosmic entity trying to rewrite reality-corrupted Zodiac entities causing chaos, and his ex-girlfriend's invention is being used to potentially destroy the world.
Yeah, it's a lot to handle. But the manuscript does a really interesting job of paralleling Nathan's personal journey with this big cosmic battle he's facing.
Right, like he starts out heartbroken and lost, trying to cling to the past.
Right. Exactly. And as he embraces his role as the Zodiac Guardian, he has to confront all these inner demons, his fears, his insecurities. It's like a classic hero's journey, but with this really unique astrological twist.
It is a classic hero's journey, but do you think it subverts any of those typical tropes? I mean, his personal quest to win back Justine seems pretty intertwined with his heroic path.
That's a great point. It makes you wonder if his desire for her is holding him back from fully embracing his destiny.
Or maybe it's actually fueling his determination to save the world.
Right. It's like he has this extra motivation because he knows Justine is in danger.
Exactly. And the manuscript definitely blurs those lines between personal desire and heroic duty.
It does, and a good example of that is the ritual he has to go through to unlock Scorpio's power.
Oh yeah, that was intense.
He literally has to face his deepest fears and insecurities to gain control of this super powerful and dangerous energy.
It's like cosmic therapy with life or death consequences.
No kidding. Talk about high-stakes emotional growth. And speaking of emotional complexities, there's also that whole revelation about Aurora being Lyra Ophiuchus's former lover.
Right, that adds a whole other layer to the story. It
Yeah.
makes Ophiuchus seem less like this purely evil entity and more like a complex figure driven by pain and loss.
Exactly. It
Yeah.
humanizes him in a way. It shows that even these incredibly powerful beings can be corrupted by love, by grief, by a desire for control.
And it makes you question his motivations.
Yeah.
Is he truly set on destroying everything? Or is he just trying to rewrite reality
Yeah.
to undo some past tragedy?
Yeah. Is there any chance of redemption for him? Can he be saved from this darkness that's consumed him?
So many questions.
Yeah.
And while we're on the topic of motivations, let's talk about Justine.
Oh, yeah. She goes through a pretty significant transformation, too.
She does. She starts out as this object of affection, almost like a damsel in distress.
Right. But then she becomes this crucial ally in the fight against Ophiuchus.
It's a nice change from that typical love interest trope.
It is. She's a brilliant scientist, and she's not afraid to get her hands dirty and use her knowledge to fight back.
And she takes responsibility for her creation, even though it's being used for evil purposes.
That's huge. She
Yeah.
could have easily just given up and said, well, it's not my fault anymore.
Totally. But instead, she joins forces with Nathan and becomes a key player in this cosmic battle.
It shows a lot of courage and determination. She's not just along for the ride. She's actively trying to shape the outcome.
So we've got Nathan struggling with his powers, Justine grappling with the consequences of her invention, and Aurora guiding them both while battling her own demons from the past.
It's a lot for them to handle. And then on top of all that, the author introduces the Celestial Warriors, this team of ordinary people who are given the power of the Zodiac.
Yeah, it's like the author's saying that heroism can come from anywhere, that anyone has the potential to rise to the occasion.
It's a really empowering message, especially in a world where we often feel so overwhelmed by all the problems we're facing.
Like, you don't need to have superpowers or be some kind of chosen one to make a difference.
Exactly. It's about finding the courage within yourself, embracing your unique talents, and working together to overcome challenges.
And the Celestial Warriors are a perfect example of that. They represent this beautiful diversity of human potential.
We see the fiery energy of Aries, the grounded strength of Taurus, the adaptability of Gemini, the nurturing power of Cancer, and so on.
It's like the Avengers, but with star signs.
And they each bring something unique to the table, highlighting the importance of teamwork and collaboration.
But they're not just fighting external threats, they're also battling these corrupted Zodiac entities, these dark reflections of their own powers.
Which is such a clever way of exploring the duality of human nature, the idea that even our most positive qualities can be twisted and distorted.
Right. Like Aries' courage can become recklessness. Taurus's stability can become stubbornness. Gemini's adaptability can become deceitfulness.
It's a reminder that power can be a dangerous thing, and that even people with the best intentions need to be aware of their own inner darkness.
So it's not just a battle between good and evil. It's also a battle within each of these characters.
Exactly. They have to constantly fight to maintain balance and control over these powerful forces.
So how do the Celestial Warriors actually fare against these corrupted entities? Are they able to hold their own?
The battles are definitely intense. The manuscript doesn't shy away from showing the cost of this cosmic conflict. The city of Atlanta becomes a battleground, and there are casualties on both sides.
Wow, so it's not all sunshine and rainbows.
No.
Yeah.
But in the end, the Celestial Warriors prove that even ordinary people can achieve extraordinary things when they work together and harness the power of their collective will.
So they're able to push back against these corrupted forces and protect the city.
Mm.
What about Ophiuchus, though? Is he defeated? Does he get what's coming to him?
Well, it's complicated. The Celestial Warriors, with Nathan leading the charge, are able to sever Ophiuchus' connection to the dimensional barriers.
So they disrupt his plan to merge dimensions and rewrite reality.
Yeah, but it's a bittersweet victory.
What do you mean?
Well, the battle leaves Atlanta in ruins, and there's this sense that the world has been irrevocably changed.
Oh.
Plus, they didn't actually destroy Ophiuchus. They restored his consciousness, but his motives are still unclear.
So he's out there somewhere, potentially plotting his revenge.
Possibly. The manuscript ends on a bit of a cliffhanger, leaving us with more questions than answers.
So the world is saved, but at a cost. And the ultimate fate of Ophiuchus remains a mystery.
Exactly. It sounds like the author is definitely setting us up for a sequel.
I hope so. I need to know what happens next. So we've made it to the end of Zodiac Guardian, Nathan's Promise, and wow, this manuscript is something else. I mean, cosmic battles, shadowy entities, ancient prophecies, and a love story all wrapped up in one.
Yeah, it's a wild ride for sure. But it also makes you think about some pretty big questions. Love, loss, redemption, the power of connection.
Right, and it does all that while keeping you on the edge of your seat with this awesome sci-fi adventure.
It's really well done. The author uses these fantastical elements to explore some really human themes.
Exactly. And Nathan's transformation is a great example of that. He starts out as this heartbroken guy just trying to get his ex back.
Yeah, just a normal dude.
Totally.
Yeah.
And then suddenly he's thrust into this crazy situation where he has to confront his fears, embrace his destiny, and become a leader.
It's a classic hero's journey, but it feels so relatable because of how the author portrays Nathan's struggles.
I agree. You see him making mistakes, fumbling with his powers, trying to balance his personal desires with this huge responsibility.
Right, and he doesn't always get it right. He messes up sometimes, but he keeps pushing forward. He never gives up.
And that's what makes him such a compelling character.
Yeah.
He's not perfect, but he's trying his best, and you can't help but root for him.
Exactly. And Justine's transformation is also really interesting.
Oh yeah, she goes from being this brilliant but kind of isolated scientist to a key player in this cosmic battle.
It's like her journey mirrors the evolution of her invention. The quantum bridge starts out as this tool for connection and understanding.
Right, it's supposed to be this amazing breakthrough.
But then it gets corrupted and becomes this weapon that could potentially destroy the world.
And Justine has to grapple with that. She has to take responsibility for what her creation has become.
Which is huge. She could have easily just walked away and said, it's not my problem anymore.
Totally, but she doesn't. She steps up and uses her knowledge and skills to fight back against the people who are trying to use her invention for evil.
And that's a powerful message. It's about taking ownership of our creations and making sure they're used for good.
And then there's the Celestial Warriors, this group of ordinary people who are given the power of the Zodiac.
It's such a cool concept. Like, anyone can be a hero.
Exactly. You don't need to have special powers or be born into some kind of destiny.
It's about finding the courage within yourself and stepping up when the world needs you.
And the Celestial Warriors really embody that idea. They each have their own unique strengths, and they come together to form this incredible team.
They represent the diversity of human potential and the power of collaboration.
They face some serious challenges, but they never give up. They support each other. They learn from their mistakes, and they ultimately triumph because they understand that they're stronger together.
It's a really inspiring message about the importance of unity and hope.
Okay, so let's talk about that ending. Ophiuchus' plan is thwarted, but he's not actually defeated.
Right. It's a bittersweet victory, for sure. The battle leaves the city in ruins, and there's this sense that the world is forever changed.
And Ophiuchus is still out there somewhere. His consciousness is restored, but his motives are unclear.
It's a cliffhanger that leaves you with a lot of questions. Like, what's going to happen next? Will Ophiuchus come back for revenge? Will Nathan and Justine find their way back to each other?
I need answers. But I also kind of appreciate that the author leaves things open-ended.
Me too. It reflects the complexity of the real world. Things aren't always black and white. there are rarely clear-cut victories or defeats.
Right. Even when we overcome challenges, there are often lingering consequences and the potential for new threats to emerge.
Exactly. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's what keeps us moving forward, keeps us striving for a better future.
So even amidst the cosmic chaos and uncertainty, there's still hope.
Absolutely. There's always hope. And for our listeners out there, I want to leave you with a question. If you were called upon to join the Celestial Warriors, which zodiac sign would you choose? What unique strengths and talents would you bring to the team?
I love that question. It makes you think about your own potential and your own role in making the world a better place.
Exactly. Maybe you have some hidden talents or abilities that you haven't even discovered yet.
Well, on that note, we'll wrap up our deep dive into Zodiac Guardian, Nathan's Promise. Thanks for joining us on this incredible journey. It's been a wild ride full of twists, turns, and thought-provoking moments.
And who knows, maybe we'll get to explore the next chapter of this story someday.
I hope so. Until then, keep looking up at the stars and remember the power that lies within each of us.